And here is the Writer's Almanac for Tuesday. It's the 18th of January, 2022. It's the birthday of Peter Mark Roget, born London, 1779. He was a doctor for most of his life, and after he retired at the age of 61, he decided to devote himself to publishing a system of classifying words into groups based on their meanings. He had 6 categories, and within each one, many subcategories. The whole thing took him more than 10 years. He finally published it, his Thesaurus of English Words and Phrases, and at the last minute he decided to include an index which helped readers find synonyms, and it was that made his Thesaurus the most popular reference book of all time. It's the birthday of Joseph Farwell Glidden, born Charleston, New Hampshire, 1813, who rigged up an old coffee grinder to twist strands of wire around each other, and then he clipped off the protruding ends to make barbs. He invented barbed wire, which made him one of the richest men in the country and which brought an end to the Wild West and cowboys and cattle drives. It's the birthday of A. Milne, born London, 1882. Went to Trinity College on a mathematics scholarship, but he wanted to write. He wrote light verse, wrote plays. He was on holiday with his son Christopher Robin when he got an idea to write about the stuffed animals in his son's nursery, and especially the bear. He invented Keillor, the donkey, and Tigger, and Piglet, and an owl named Owl, and Winnie-the Pooh. First featured in a Christmas story, came out December 1925, called The Wrong Side of Bees. By 1931, Winnie-the Pooh was an enormous business, and nobody wanted anything by A. Milne except more stories about stuffed animals. And it was on this day in 1788 the first convict ship of the First Fleet arrived in Australia from Great Britain, full of convicts. Britain had sent her convicts to America in the past, but after the American Revolution, that was not a possibility, and the prisons were becoming overcrowded, and so they sent them off to Australia. Arrived in Botany Bay, what is now New South Wales, and they became a colony of farmers. Here's a poem for today by Norman McCaig, entitled Praise of a Collie. She was a small dog, neat and fluid. Even her conversation was tiny. She greeted you with bow, never bow wow. Her sons stood monumentally over her, but did what she told them. Each grew grizzled till it seemed he was his own mother's grandfather. Once, gathering sheep on a showery day, I remarked how dry she was. Polican said, I would take a very accurate drop to hit Lassie. And her tact and tactics, when the sheep bolted in an unforeseen direction, over the skyline came who but Lassie, and not even panting. She sailed in the dinghy like a proper sea dog, wears a burn. She's first on the other side. She flowed through fences like a piece of black wind. But suddenly she was old and sick and crippled. I grieved for Polican when he took her for a stroll and put his gun to the back of her head. Praise of a Collie by Norman McCaig from his collected poems, published by Chatto and Windus and used by permission here on the Writer's Almanac, funded by donations from listeners like you, now available on PRX for distribution by your local radio station. Be well, do good work, and keep in touch.